Can you imagine how happy Under Armour was with this scene?
Can you imagine when they got the call, like, hey, so can we use your... Yes.
We'll send you shorts, a shirt, jock straps, whatever you need.
Chris Evans is going to wear it in a Marvel film. Yeah. Say no more. Hello and welcome to the Art of Costume Blogcast. I'm Elizabeth Joy Glass.
And I'm Captain Spencer Williams. What's up, Elizabeth?
Oh, you know, nothing much. Nothing much.
It's the 4th of July.
Yesterday was the 4th of July.
I'll admit, Elizabeth, I'm not feeling very patriotic this year.
You're not feeling patriotic right now?
Yeah. The world is very disgusting.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am not happy. So I actually worked yesterday because I'm like, well, I might as well make money since nobody in this country is going to take care of me.
Right. It's hard to celebrate, I guess, the patriotism of your country when you live in a country that doesn't care about all the citizens and the people who live in it and their different views and their bodies and their own rights. And it's just, I don't know. I just have so much to say. I don't want to say all on this podcast, but not thrilled.
Like when they say they're saving lives, but all they're really doing is just doubling how many people are going to be hurt now.
Yep.
I love it. So today we are going to continue our tradition. Since there's nothing else good in this country to celebrate, we are celebrating the greatest aspect of America. We are celebrating America's ass once again. This week, we watched Winter Soldier.
That was probably the sickest transition we've ever done. So anyways, America's ass is looking finer than ever.
It is. And we don't just have America's finest ass. We have his friend's finest ass as well.
Are you talking about your favorite? Bucky
Barnes as the Winter Soldier, James Buchanan Barnes III. Yes.
This is really exciting for us. If you all remember, actually the very first episode we ever recorded, even though our first episode was Krilla, we actually recorded our Captain America episode first because we've seen it 100 times.
Yeah, we were so nervous and just disorganized. We had to record it in 2 separate sittings.
Yeah, because, do you remember? We were recording and I think we hit something like 2 hours and he hadn't even become Captain America yet.
Because we decided it was a good idea to drink a lot during the recording. Because we were nervous.
And we talked about every single scene. I wish I could have shared... I probably have them somewhere in my notes for that, but literally it was scene 1. They dive into the ship, in ice.
Yeah.
But we did that and it got down to 60 scenes. It was camera pans left. It was so detailed,
It was. I tried finding my original notes for some of our first episodes and I couldn't find them. Because it was so long ago. And, at some point I did look back at my Corella notes, and I think I deleted them because I was like, these make no sense.
So to keep up this incredible tradition, we are doing the next Captain America film, The Winter Soldier. And I love this film. This, though, however, was only my second time seeing it somehow. So,
oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite Marvel films. However, this time around... I don't know why, this time it hit me. This is the most violent Marvel film.
Right. Well,
hands down.
I was thinking the same thing, and then I realized that we just saw Doctor Strange, and I feel like they might go hand in hand. There's blood in that one. There's still no blood in this.
But that's fantasy violence. It's not Natasha Romanoff choking people and murdering everybody in her path.
Or that one shady guy shooting his maid.
Yes.
Like what?
Yes. I'd forgotten about that. And like Captain America messes people up.
Yeah, he was giving some real Batman vibes a couple times.
Yeah. And then like when Bucky is like destroying the entire S.H.I.E.L.D. like miniature Air Force, like he threw someone into like a plane turbine.
Yeah, that, you know, it happens. I don't know.
True. But you know what? Let's dive into this. Give us that summary, Spencer.
All right. Well, everyone, those pesky Hydra knuckleheads are at it again. After the cataclysmic events in New York with his fellow Avengers, Steve Rogers, a.k.a. the Captain America, lives in the nation's capital as he tries to adjust to modern times. An attack on a S.H.I.E.L.D. colleague throws Rogers into a web of intrigue that places the whole world at risk. Joining forces with the Black Widow and a new ally, the Falcon, Rogers struggles to expose an ever-widening conspiracy, but he and his team come up against an unexpected enemy, and that is Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Yes, it is. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's on Disney Plus.
And it was real nice.
Go view that fine ass that America has produced. And then jump behind the wardrobe with us. We have directors Anthony and Joe Russo, a.k.a. the Russo brothers. Which, honestly, this just sounds dope, working with your siblings for a living. That sounds fun. Like
we're basically siblings. This is basically us.
We are basically siblings. That's so true.
We're like the Russo siblings of podcasting, costume podcasting.
Absolutely. So we have the Russo brothers. And one of our favorites, costume designer, Judianna Makovsky.
Yay!
You will know her from The 6 Degrees of Separation, Pleasantville, for which she got her first Oscar nomination, Great Expectations, The Devil's Advocate, X-Men: The Last Stand, both National Treasure movies, Seabiscuit, for which she got a second Oscar nomination. And I've actually never seen Seabiscuit. Anyway, Harry Potter.
You're not missing much.
I know. I remember people always talking about it growing up, and I was like, I was not a fan of horses growing up. I was not a horse girl. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, then you're not going to like Seabiscuit. So.
Gotcha. Also, another one of our favorites, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, for which she got her third Oscar nomination. The Suicide Squad, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and Captain America Civil War. Right now, she's working on Guardians Volume 3 and the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Yay, I'm so excited. Honestly, Judianna has really become one of my all-time favorite costume designers. She does the coolest stuff. I mean, the Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy, two of my favorites.
That new Suicide Squad was just, like, gorgeous.
It was top-tier costuming.
Yes, absolutely. And unfortunately, she didn't really do a lot of interviews for this film. As I said before, the further back in time we go, the less information there is. And I mean, we're very lucky in the last couple of years. It's really, it's gotten much more common for costume designers to be interviewed for their work. Not so much back when Captain America, the Winter Soldier came out. She did talk to Tyranny of Style, and she said about the film and its characters, although some of the particular characters have been seen before, each film is its own entity with its own specific needs and look. I did research into the backstories and the previous films, so I had a basis from which to move forward. On my first day on the job, I was handed a very large stack of comics to read, so I would be familiar with the foundation. So this is what I love, when someone's like, okay, let's see what this is all about, because it is part of a larger franchise, and you can't just ignore it. There are comics, there are movies. She was like, okay, let's see what this is all about, and then move forward.
I love that. Can you imagine like just a huge stack of comics and like, here's your homework? Like,
I mean, like,
that's
thanks.
like the coolest homework ever.
That's true. That's true. Oh, but Spencer, after our break, are you ready to jump onto a ship and watch this movie?
I'm grabbing my shield as we speak.
Beautiful, beautiful. Everybody, we'll be right back. Hello, Blogcast listeners. It's Elizabeth Joy Glass, co-host and producer of the Art of Costume Blogcast. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate all your support. If you wanted to continue your support, you can now become one of our costume mavens when you become our patron at patreon.com/theartofcostume. There we post unheard bloopers, highlights, and you can even catch our monthly bonus episodes for patrons only. Make sure to check out the description for a link to our Patreon. All right, Spencer, are you ready for a little jog? A little jog?
I don't jog. The only running I do is for my life, so no.
I know. I say I hike, but ever since I moved back home, that's been less and less true.
Yeah, I hike to the kitchen, but that's about it.
Yeah, but Captain America and our newest character, Sam Wilson, they like to just jog around the DC area.
I am so dumb, Elizabeth. The whole on your left scene, it did not dawn on me until today. Remember in Endgame when the Falcon comes out of the portal and says, on your left, and Cap turns around?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was a reference to this scene. And it's so cool now.
They reference back to it within the movie as well.
Anyways, the Falcon, it is so crazy, like going back in time and seeing like some of our characters for the first time.
Because Anthony Mackie, who plays Sam Wilson, like he's so ingrained in the franchise now, especially now that he was like one of the main characters of the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show. It's like, oh, he was like a little baby in this movie.
Yeah. They both look great in their little like training outfits, going a little jog. You know, Cap's wearing a shirt that's like slightly small for him, of course, or fitted just right, however you want to see it.
And Sam, he's just like clearly got like his just gym shorts and his Air Force like sweatshirt, like not put together at all. And I love Steve. He's like all decked out in Under Armour. And I'm like, clearly, like Natasha took him shopping one day.
Right.
And was like, you need clothing and I'm going to pick it all out for you.
Can you imagine how happy Under Armour was with this scene? I mean,
right?
That's the best advertisement you could ever get.
Can you imagine when they got the call like, hey, so can we use your, yes. Whatever you want.
We'll send you shorts, a shirt, jock straps, whatever you need.
Yeah, whatever you need, it is here for you. Chris Evans is going to wear it? Yes. In a Marvel film? Say no more. Yeah. But unfortunately, Captain America does have to say more because him and the Black Widow have to go on a little mission to save some hostages on a ship, and they both look very, very cool.
Ooh, they both look great. When Natasha rolled up in that black car and was like, we got some stuff to do, I was just like, yeah, so dope. I
love that little flirty moment between her and Sam. It's like, it's so cute.
Right? Natasha's be flirting around with a lot of these Avengers I'm starting to notice.
Yes. I also love how she's just like desperately trying to get Steve set up with somebody.
Right.
Like,
I was like, is it too late for you guys to get together? But I keep forgetting she has like a weird thing for the Hulk, which I don't know. Okay, so Natasha, her costume to me feels more elevated than the last time we saw her, which honestly I'm not even sure what her last movie would have been before this, but I know that
it would have been Avengers.
So she definitely like has gotten a little bit of like a wardrobe upgrade, I would say.
Yes, the Russos really wanted everything to be extremely realistic. They told Judiana they wanted everything to look like it would fit into DC society today. And so that's really where they went, especially with his suit. They were like, okay, they're in S.H.I.E.L.D. now. They're spies. They're not really trying to like be flashy. So they needed something very different. Judiana said to the Oscars.com, so we had to create a fabric that was actually stretched but had a printed texture so that it looked like it was a hard fabric. It's actually made out of about 4 or 5 different fabrics. So they told her they wanted the suit to look like it was Kevlar. They didn't want it to be stretchy. They wanted it to look hard, more militant. And she was given a piece of concept art by Orion Meerding, the head of visual development at Marvel Studios. And she was like, okay, well, I cannot make this out of a hard material. She was like, that's not practical.
Wow.
So they used a couple different ones. They printed the Kevlar look onto it and then put it together. Apparently it was such a comfortable suit that Chris Evans like stayed in it at lunch and just ate his lunches in it because he was like, this is comfortable. Like, I don't need to get out of it.
I'm sure that made the PAs, costumers, whatnot, like very uncomfortable.
Yeah. They were probably like, here's 1,000,002 napkins. Like,
right.
Stick them into your collar.
Here's a poncho you would usually wear on a Jurassic Park ride at Universal Studios. Last time you and I talked about Captain America, like we said, it was our second episode, the first Avenger, which that's set during World War II. So looking to now, it's very interesting. It does, it's very similar to that very first costume he wears, but you could tell it is very modernized. Just something about subtly, you could feel like it would blend in the area where people would see it. They just saw aliens attack New York City. So this, I don't think would stand out to anyone too much.
No, absolutely not. It's very stealthy.
Yeah.
But it's still very Captain America. It's still got his A on the helmet and his little star on his chest. So it's like I feel like they didn't go too far away from that original style, but it's definitely more modern.
Right. They took the red out. That's what's making it stealthy.
Yeah. And I do like, you can see the original concept art and the final costume do look very similar, but you can see like there's red in the original concept art, and she was clearly like, no, we're not putting red on his on his stealth suit. The concept art is a little bit more like Captain America, and this is like even more toned down and realistic than that. Who is also toned down and more realistic? We have Bactor. I don't know how to pronounce this. Something very French, played by Georges St. Pierre, who I think is also very French. I'm not sure.
So he's like a mixed martial artist, believe. I was Googling it today because I just kept looking at him and I was like, I know this guy. I don't know how. He's just basically like a professional ass kicker.
Okay.
So
okay.
Perfect casting, I'd say.
Oh, it was perfect casting. Also, I love how they drew inspiration from the comics while it was still very like believable. He's a pirate, or he's at least doing piratey activities. But he also just kind of, I feel like he's very confident that he's going to get his job done wearing this purple and yellow top.
Right. It's actually, this is kind of like a Judiana Makovsky specialty, because we talked about this. We talked about her work on the Suicide Squad episodes ago, where she was taking comic book characters who, like the Polka Dot Man, and had to make it like look realistic. And she was doing that same thing for Captain America back then. So if you all don't know what we're talking about, because we can't pronounce his name, Georges Batroc, maybe.
Batroc, yes.
He is the pirate on the ship that Captain America very quickly takes care of.
Yeah. But yeah, I love, you can see like she took a little bit of inspiration from like all his different iterations. And it looks, that like fight scene with the two of them looks so cool.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Also pretty awesome, we have Samuel L. Jackson back as Fury.
Oh, Nick Fury. I love him. Actually, I was just going to tell you, Samuel L. Jackson was quoted, I think it was like this week, talking about like how he's done doing roles for, you know, trying to get his Oscars, and he just wants to be like Nick Fury and Mace Windu forever, basically. And I was like,
you know what?
Yes,
good
sir.
For him.
Yes, I approve.
Yes, I love that. Has he even been nominated?
He was just given an honorary Oscar this year, actually. So, yeah, Mace Windu and Nick Fury, here we come. We need more of that.
That doesn't sound fair, but you know what? I love it. I love that he's like, I'm just going to enjoy the rest of my career. Like, he's like, I'm going to ride this out and have a blast. I love that. I also love Nick Fury's office wear. Because up until this point, he's only ever been like out in the field being Nick Fury. And now it's like, he has to be in an office. He has to be a little bit professional, but it's still not like, he's clearly not going to wear just normal suit and tie. He's got that great shirt with the stand-up collar.
His costume is interesting because it's actually giving like supervillain to me.
Yes.
Almost like an Austin Powers villain, kind of.
Yes.
But it's like the stand-up collar, which to me usually reads off as villain. So, which is why it actually makes sense for this film, though, because people make Nick Fury to be the villain throughout this film.
That's true.
It's kind of like a nod to where his character's going for this film, even though Nick Fury is always on the right side. Always trust Nick Fury, even when it seems like you shouldn't trust him.
Yeah, that's really the moral of the story, because even when people look like good guys, they turn out to be bad guys. We have Robert Redford as Alexander Pierce. Ew.
He didn't look like a good guy to me. I don't know what you're saying.
Well, he's just got like he's like generic, like office politician guy. Like not good, but like this does not read as evil. Just a gray suit with a blue striped tie. Like,
yeah, scary.
So scary.
Yeah, Robert Redford in this role, I mean, he absolutely kills it. Something about his suit, though, to me is unsettling. I think the fact that's just like all gray. Yes,
it's also a little boxy on him.
Yeah.
It's not like nice and fitted. It's like, ooh, what are you hiding?
Yeah, something about it's uncomfortable. So I think at first he's like appearing as someone we could trust. But if you look at his costume, something about it's not right. And that's totally intentional. I am 100% positive.
I am sure. What I feel like is also intentional is making Sam look like a youth pastor.
Yeah, right.
like I love that he like works at the VA and is like loving what he's doing. But I'm like, you look so nerdy right now, my dude. Like
Sam is such a great character.
He is, and I can tell. Like, I love how she uses it because it's like the pants are not the right fit. The top, like this outfit, does not fit him correctly, and it's like you can tell as much as he loves his job, like he's not comfortable staying out of the action.
Yeah, he's giving like very dad energy right now, even though he's not a dad. But he's trying to adjust to like this new life that he has, where he's working in a more like, you know, like you just said, not in a combat role. So at the same time, he's just kind of dreaming about being the Falcon again. But he's, you know, just at Target looking for like, what does business attire look like? Business casual.
Yeah. Yeah. He was like khakis and a button down. Sure. This looks fine. Oh, but what also looks fine is the Captain America exhibit at the Smithsonian.
I love this part, Elizabeth. I literally want to text you, be like, "This is so cool," because it's almost like the Winter Soldier film was like listening to our podcast. It was like, let's put together a costume exhibition for the first film. It's so cool. I love it. Just look at the costumes.
I love it too. I love seeing like all the costumes from the last film, but it's also just crazy because it's like, oh wow, these are just pieces of history now in this world.
Right. I mean, they have the bowler hat guy. They have James Buchanan Barnes III. Did I get that right?
Mm-hmm.
And the original like Steve Rogers Captain America suit with the shield. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. Also, who looks like she's gonna be a lot of fun is Kate, aka Agent 13. You think she's just the cute nurse across the hall at first, but she is not. She is a SHIELD agent.
I'm surprised Captain America didn't pick up on this, honestly.
Let's all be honest for a second. Great ass, not always the most observant. Like, I love, they have this Scrubs top on her, just like baby pink. She's all smiley and flirty, and it's just like, you took her at face value, man. You should have known better.
Come on. Okay, am I wrong? But was Kate in Captain America and Winter Soldier? No, I'm sorry.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and the Winter
Soldier. She was. Emily Van Camp reprised her role, and her role turned out to be evil. Remember?
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so this is her. Yeah, so she's a confusing character, Miss Kate.
Yeah. I feel like she's, by Falcon and Winter Soldier, she's just so fed up. Like we all are right now with a government's inability to trust women and not make them into criminals.
Yeah. So she's like, it's time to, team up with probably Julia Louis-Dreyfus and start, fighting back.
Causing some chaos. Because she is done. Oh, that was great when she does that tearful, like, thank you for, letting me back into the country. And then she's like, I'm in.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, but also what's nice is we get our first glimpse at the Winter Soldier.
Oh, man. I know for a fact. I mean, I already know what Elizabeth's one costume rule them all is.
Yeah, you do.
This entire film is very Elizabeth. And I just know how excited she is. So take it away, Elizabeth.
So we have Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier. We don't know this yet. Because he's got those iconic goggles and the face mask. And also, he's not in his iconic Winter Soldier look yet. He's wearing this just kind of practical leather jacket, just like looking cool, trying to murder Nick Fury. But it's like you only get to see glimpses of it. You're like, ooh, who is this cool fellow?
Yeah, clearly his mission was to get in, take Nick Fury out, and be done within 5 minutes. It just really blew out of proportion. So I don't think he was fully suited up yet.
No.
I wish I saw this film in theaters when it came out, because I admittedly was not fully in the Marvel universe at this time, going to midnight premieres. Of course I saw Iron Man and I saw Avengers, but I wasn't super into every Captain America film. So I wish I could go back in time and see the audience reaction to seeing Bucky for the first time.
Right.
It's probably intense.
I feel like I saw this in theaters, but I'm not sure. One thing I am sure about is that the elevator scene is one of the best fight sequences in film history. And nobody can convince me otherwise.
It's so good. Honestly, it's up there. For the MCU, for sure, it's top 5. And when that one soldier is you see the beads of sweat going down his forehead, I'm like, oh my gosh. He might not be very observant, Captain America, but he had his Wheaties that morning.
Yeah, when it counted. And it's I love just the sea of black, whether they're part of the tactical team or in a suit. And he's just like, does anybody want to get off on the next floor before we start? And just
I would have got off. I would have been like, okay.
I've been like, bye-bye.
I changed my mind.
But nobody changes their mind. And Captain America has to go on the run. Spencer, I think we need to go on the run ourselves. Take a little break.
Yeah, apparently we need to just snap the cords off the elevator. One of my worst fears, even though the chance of your elevator free falling in America is like 0.1 or something.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, let's get out of here and take a little break.
Take a little break. We'll be right back.
What's up, costume nerds? This is Spencer, co-host and producer of the Art of Costume Blogcast. I love the simple things in life. Free parking, air conditioning, and a nice comfortable hoodie. If you feel the same way, then I'm here to let you know that if you wanted to support our show, you can head over to theartofcostume.com/podstore. There you can buy awesome Blogcast merch through TeePublic, such as t-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, and stickers. We even have a baby onesie for all those baby costume designers out there. To get your merch, head over to theartofcostume.com/podstore. Thank you for all your support.
Spencer, if I had to go on the run with anybody, I would go on the run with you.
With me?
Well, maybe not with you. Maybe with Natasha. She seems like a safer bet, actually.
Oh, wait. I take it back. Go on a run with me. One of my favorite costumes of the entire film is Natasha's disguise, because I love Natasha to death, but her disguises are always trash. It's clearly you, Natasha. You're wearing a hoodie.
I know. I'm like, with her hair down, it's like you tie that back, like you pull that. Like, Steve looks better. Like, see, I can believe Steve is trying to run away.
At least he put glasses on, you know?
Yeah, he put glasses on, a little hat to cover his impeccable hair. He looks kind of like a better looking average Joe, almost. But I love the mall scene just because, like, she's kind of relaxed because she's done this her entire life, but he's just freaking out the whole time.
Black Widow's essentially always on the run, so she's like, it's just another day. At least this time I have a partner, you know?
Yeah. I also love the appearance of Aaron, the Apple guy. The product placement in this Captain America is impeccable. Like,
yeah, it's pretty awesome. There are some good deals made with this film, and somehow it still didn't come off like too in your face though, which is okay, you know, like Under Armour, Apple. It's subtle, and that's okay.
It's stuff that is actually like in our faces in our everyday lives, so it makes sense that it would be in their universe. Like, of course you went to an overcrowded Apple store to use one of their computers. Of course you did. And
the Apple employees are like in your face, and you're just trying to, like, you know, steal information from the government.
Oh, yeah. I went to an Apple store with a friend a couple months back, and an Apple employee tried real hard to sell me some AirPods. I was like, sorry, I am poor.
You don't have AirPods, Elizabeth?
Apple AirPods? No.
Oh, we got to get you some.
But you know who also stands out? The entire team tracking them down. I'm like, none of you look conspicuous right now.
They look like Grand Theft Auto villains. Like, I know these guys are up to no good in this mall.
I'm like, literally, as Captain America, all he needed to do was, like, pull off his glasses and hat and be like, those guys are trying to, you know, be evil. And, like, they would have been mobbed by a bunch of people being like, well, Captain America told me to.
What else was not realistic was Natasha telling Captain America to kiss her, and he was like all hesitant. I was like, shut up, Captain America, just kiss her.
No, because he's a man of his time. And to kiss somebody in public like that, the idea clearly just was unthinkable to him.
Right. I forget that he's old.
Yeah. He's 90. He's not dead. But they seek some help from Sam. And just everybody starts looking real cool real fast.
Oh, yeah. That scene when Sam is like at a, restaurant.
Yeah.
When Sam is at a restaurant in that leather jacket and some aviators, like he's looking real fly right now.
Right. Like he looks so chill and relaxed. And then Natasha has like, this piece is a little bit underrated for her, but this brown leather like motorcycle jacket that just looks so cool. She looks so cool.
With the combination of like her classic red hair, it's just, this is a solid costume for Natasha.
It is solid. And I also love how they give us like a little peek of Falcon in this scene when they're interrogating the Hydra / Shield agent. They give us like a peek of what the Falcon is, but not entirely. And it's just like, ooh, this looks cool. Yeah. And then it's just, Sam as the Falcon just gets cooler and cooler through the movie.
Right. Yeah. He's such a good character. I am so glad that he's gained like his spotlight nowadays.
Right.
And,
right.
I'm really excited for his future. He's such a cool character.
I know. I'm excited for the second season of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I feel like it's going to be good.
I don't think that they're doing a second season. I think he's getting his own movie. I think he's the next Captain America movie where he is Captain America, which I think is pretty badass.
That's exciting. I am happy. That actually makes me more happy.
Yeah. I hope he's fighting more Hydra too. That's just like my favorite villains. They're just like easy to hate,
Yeah. And we've got Steve looking great. Like this whole blue jacket look of his.
Yeah, top
flawless, tier. It brings out his eyes.
It's a nice quality jacket. He got it at like a nice department store, but looks comfortable. What's that? Like a bomber jacket? Ooh, yeah. It has like a little bit of a velvety texture to it.
Mm-hmm. I believe those were made for him, but the good jacket doesn't last long because we finally have our Winter Soldier, who is revealed to be James Buchanan Barnes III.
The moment we've all been waiting for.
This look is so cool.
Elizabeth,
I love this look.
Elizabeth's been waiting for this moment since July of 2021.
Yes.
Okay, before you go into it, I'll just say he looks pretty awesome. This costume is just so detailed from top to bottom. The goggles, the super cool arm, the mask, just the straps, the harness. It's just so much detail, but yet it somehow feels realistic to their area in a post like New York attack in Avengers. Mm-hmm. Like nothing about this like stands out too much, but it's just, it's really cool.
No, it looks so cool. It's like, it suits him so well because it's like, okay, he's like kind of like a Soviet like technology brainwashed over and over again. And I feel like you kind of see like the Soviet influence in that jacket. And it's chef's kiss. Like, what more can we say? What more can we say?
You wore this costume to the Halloween party you and I hosted, right?
I did a modified version of his jacket and was Bucky Barnes for Halloween.
Oh, so good. We should post that on Instagram.
We should. But then when Steve sees that it's his best gal pal, he gets sad and has a little memory time. Flashback, there we go.
That's the word. Steve gets in his feelings and he's remembering his good old pal Bucky. And it's just very cute. We get to see like that cute little like shrimpy Steve,
Yeah. I also love how the whole like tone changes back to the same tone they had in the first movie.
Right.
Like it looks very much like clearly they filmed it for this movie, but it almost looks like it could have been a deleted scene from the first
sure.
Captain America.
Yeah, they were like, Juliana, we have to go back to the 40s. So.
And she was like, I got this.
Piece of cake.
Oh, but that can't last long. They have to infiltrate S.H.I.E.L.D. We get to see the Security Council and
we get to see
Natasha being amazing spy that she is.
Yeah, we get to see Black Widow if she were like a, senator or something, like what she would wear. And it's pretty awesome.
Yes. I was like, I would love to know that Security Council woman, her reaction after she found out the Black Widow stole her identity. I'm like, or were you like in on this? Like,
I get the feeling that she was probably super honored and she was like, yes, girl, you get it. It's about time we, step up and just take this man down. So she's probably really excited about it.
I hope so. Because Black Widow makes her look good. She's that whole navy ensemble with the gold. It looks good on the actress that plays the councilwoman. And then it just looks like killer on Natasha as well.
It's giving me like Angela Merkel vibes, the former chancellor of Germany. Oh, wow. I just really know my politics.
You do. But also, Captain America had to figure something out. He was like, I need my old suit back. Yes. I don't want to be associated with S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore. And he steals his Captain America costume back. And while it looks like the one from the original Captain America, the first Avenger movie, they did have to slightly redesign and remake it just to fit, the style and look and tone of this movie. But it's like, it doesn't really matter because it looks like the old one.
Yeah, to me, it still pretty much reads the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks awesome. Like, I don't know, you could definitely tell it is vintage. Mm-hmm. Compared to what he's been wearing the entire film, but still somehow works,
Absolutely. What's also working is the entire S.H.I.E.L.D. agency just fighting itself.
It's really confusing. I would go home for today. I think it would be time for a sick day if you worked at S.H.I.E.L.D.
I know. I would just be like, I gotta pick up my cat from the vet's office.
I don't know.
You all figure this out. Let me know if I need to find a new job.
Yeah. I don't know who to trust, so I'm just gonna go home. Naked and Afraid is on, so.
Which it's wild because it's like they're all wearing these just like various types of S.H.I.E.L.D. uniforms, and it's just like that would be so confusing.
Yeah, it would be so confusing. And I think that's part of like the costume chaos of it all too. Is just like 101 different types of costumes on all these different soldiers. You wouldn't know who to trust and who's on whose side, which, Juliana really added to the chaos in a great way.
Absolutely. Also adding to the chaos in a great way, we see Sam in his full Falcon suit glory, just messing things up.
He looks great. That suit is so cool. And this is definitely like before it's gotten all the like Tony Stark. Yeah.
Stark, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't said that word in a long time. Before he's gotten like all the Stark advancements on his suit. But it still somehow looks like really cool. But you could tell it is a little bit more like homemade in the sense that it doesn't have like the most advanced technologies. Yeah,
like I wouldn't say homemade because it is his Falcon suit from the army. But you can tell the rest of it's kind of cobbled together because he doesn't like to wear under it. He doesn't have a suit, but he's found the best that he can. He's got this cute little like tactical vest underneath it.
Yeah, like he's definitely taking care of it himself.
Yeah, it's like you look like a superhero, man.
Yeah. What I love, though, which is so hilarious with some of these Marvel movies, is when battles like this happen and the other Avengers don't help. It always makes me crazy. Like these ships were about to get ready to go in the air and just start shooting people. And no one else is to be seen. No Iron Man, nothing. And this happens occasionally.
Like, I'm like, Iron Man would have been there.
Right. He could have been there in 20 minutes.
Also, I love Nick Fury's look when he's going in to confront his former bestie and just being like, dude, you thought you had me.
Yeah.
You don't. His turtleneck, his leather jacket. He's like, I am Nick Fury. You can't beat me.
Yeah, you really screwed up this time. But I also love Nick Fury's like disguise when you see him in the graveyard. Like this is his.
Oh yeah,
I'm going on a long vacation look.
His going into hiding look.
I kind of appreciate this. Like, what would you do if you were known to be dead by everyone? Like, where would you go and start over?
A really nice desert island, because he's clearly got money.
Yeah,
I'd be like, I'm gonna go to the Bahamas and stay at like a nice resort, like one of those little like those resorts where you can have like your own private little like house and like private beach and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like that's what I would do.
That sounds nice. That, or I would like start over in like another country like New Zealand. That sounds nice. Yeah.
That does sound nice.
We're fantasizing a little too much now. I don't actually want to be dead. I'm just saying.
No. If we could do whatever we wanted with our lives, would we be in New Zealand? Probably.
We would still podcast from New Zealand, so don't worry too much, everyone.
We would just be out of the grip of the American government.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm really mad right now.
Natasha, though, she had to do a little stint in the U.S. Congress. So she has like her politician outfit on, and it's still super sick.
Yeah, like she does like this great just all black number, and then she changes into another sick almost all black number with this great leather like suit jacket and just like a white tank top. She knows how to use a tank top, I'm gonna say. Yeah, she does. Is it all black or like a dark green? I can't really tell. It might be a dark green, but also I think because they're under the trees, it might just be reflecting the green. Either way, I mean, it's beautiful on her. She says she's blown all of her disguises, so she has to go away for now. And I'm like, okay, well, go like buying more hoodies, I guess. Yeah. Good luck not standing out. Yeah. I'm shocked she doesn't dye her hair more often. Right. I'd be like, just go brunette. If you went brunette, no one would notice. Like blonde, she still looks like Black Widow. Brunette, she would fit in a lot better. That would make sense. But also Steve Rogers looks great in that brown leather jacket when he's... Yes, he does. So good. I mean, Steve Rogers... shoulders... He always looks great in a brown leather jacket. That's like one of his power suits, you know? Yeah. And Sam, he just has the most boring just jacket on. Yeah. I'm like, Natasha, can you please take this man shopping as well? Like, you know, he wasn't planning on becoming an Avenger right away, so he still has his like youth pastor wardrobe from earlier in the film. Yeah, he's recycling the same outfits. He has to do laundry, so I get it. Exactly. And then we're given a little update on everybody. Maria Hill, who wasn't this, but very sporadically, she's like trying to get a job at Stark Industries, looking very professional. Maria Hill is grossly underused in Avengers films in the MCU. She is. She's in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, right? Which is over. I think so. I don't know. I lost track with that show after a while. I've never seen it. She's not in the first couple seasons. Oh, well then there you go. Grossly underused. Mm-hmm. We also have Agent 13 who's like, okay, I guess I'll go work for the CIA now. Right. Quote unquote. And then we have Crossbones, who we haven't really talked about at all, but he's definitely an interesting character. He got a little barbecued. Got real crispy. Real crispy. But he's a great character. Frank Grillo really did such a good job with this character because at first you like really like him. You're like, oh, this guy's a badass. But he's kind of hard to trust. So I think he just really brought this character to life. And Crossbones is a great character from the comics, too. So we get to see him in the next film, which I believe is Age of Ultron from this point. And yes, great character. Yes, absolutely. We also get a little peek into who at the time were unseen characters.
Ooh.
The Romanov
Maximoff.
The Maximoff twins and their Hydra scientists.
Oh, we get to see Pietro and the Scarlet Witch for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love this little shot of Wanda because she's really giving serious Scarlet Witch vibes right now, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
But we always forget from this point to, Doctor Strange. In the middle, she's like a cool, like young hip girl with like some sick outfits. But from the beginning, point A and point B, she is like real scary Scarlet Witch vibes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love Hydra has a great sense of style. Like we mentioned this, I think, in our first Captain America episode.
Oh yeah, Red Skull had the coolest costumes. That's just without question. These
scientists also have great outfits and a fantastic monocle. Like, I feel like monocles are underused.
They definitely are. I don't understand monocles. I just need to figure out how you get them on your head. I just have a lot of questions. We could talk about that after.
We can talk about that after. But then the very last character we get a little update on is poor Bucky Barnes. He is so sad and confused.
Yeah, just like us, he went to the costume exhibition at the Smithsonian, and he's really taking in the great costumes designed by Anna B. Shepherd.
Yeah. And trying to remember his past, he actually does pull off the I'm in hiding look.
He does. Yeah, Bucky does have a good disguise. They should all take disguise notes from Bucky because he just looks like a man.
They absolutely should. He does. He just looks like a scruffy looking man.
Nice.
But with that, we have finished Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Spencer, are you ready for our favorite game?
I am.
Hit it, Daniel. The one costume to rule them all.
Okay, so my favorite costume is kind of a hard one. Though it's hard.
What is your one costume to rule them all, Spencer?
I'm really torn between Natasha's mall look and Steve Rogers' like revised stealth suit. It's very cool.
Ooh.
I don't know, but some things tell me to stick with Natasha's mall look because it's so ridiculous and it makes me laugh. Just Natasha doesn't know how to dress like a normal person. Okay, that's my one costume rule them all. It's just so funny. And it like obviously looks great and the costume is perfect. I think Juliana really just like was thinking like Natasha sometimes has a hard time blending in because she was raised a lot differently than everyone else in all these films, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, even Steve Rogers had a childhood. Natasha did not. And so, yeah, that's my one costume to rule them all.
Great choice. Great choice. Surprising nobody. My one costume to rule them all is the classic Winter Soldier look. I mean, come on. You think of this look even before you think of Steve Rogers' stealth suit.
Oh, yeah.
This was the iconic piece that came out of this movie, and nothing else deserves to be more iconic from this film. That's just how it is.
Elizabeth's serious when she says one costume to rule them all. She means all.
Yeah.
All of them.
All of them. All of them. Might I say the most iconic look of the MCU?
She's throwing it down. She's throwing it down.
Maybe.
Well, if you all agree with Elizabeth or disagree, feel free to step up to us and say it yourself. We have our voicemail number that you could call and leave us your follow-up messages. It is 626-515-1826. One more time, it's 626-515-1826. If you agree that the Bucky Barnes costume is the one costume to rule them all, let us know. But if you think the mall costume is better, I'm all ears, you know? I do like to be told I'm right every once in a while.
I mean, if you agree with Spencer, That's your choice. If you make the right decision and agree with me, please call in. But in the meantime, get ready for our latest series. Spencer, are you ready for Hot Girl Summer?
I am so ready. So this next month of episodes we put together ended up
like
kind of
2 months.
Right. It's a long 2 months, but it kind of was put together by accident, and we just kind of looked at it and we were like, oh, we're celebrating Hot Girl Summer this year on the podcast.
Yes.
So Elizabeth, tell everyone what our first episode will be, which this is a now long-awaited episode since it was supposed to happen a couple weeks ago. Yes,
everybody, we are kicking off Hot Girl Summer with Bridgerton Season 2.
That's so funny. Yeah, so we were supposed to do it a couple weeks back. Instead, we did Our Flag Means Death because, of course, Elizabeth's putting together all the research for Bridgerton. She called me and she was like, yeah, this isn't going to happen yet. We need more time. So it's happening now.
It's happening now. And what a more appropriate TV series to kick off this new series of episodes we're doing. We hope you all enjoyed today's episode. And if you want more content from us in between Tuesday to Tuesday, if you're just like, I miss them so much, don't worry. You can get more content at The Art of Costume Pod on Instagram, at The Art of Costume on TikTok. If you want an extra episode from us every single month, you can become a patron at patreon.com/The Art of Costume. And if you're like, I just need to tell everybody about this amazing, amazing podcast, you can go to the Art of Costume /pod store and just get some Art of Costume Blogcast merch.
Yeah. I mean, the possibilities are endless in ways you could continue to interact with us all week long. And also, in preparation for our Bridgerton Season 2 episode, our Bridgerton Season 1 episode is available on Patreon. So listen to that now.
Listen to it now. Get prepared. And we'll see you for Hot Girl Summer next Tuesday.
Ooh, I can't wait. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget to stand up for what is right. Continue to make your voices heard. Don't forget to vote this year. What's happening right now in our world is unacceptable. Everyone should have the right to make their own decisions for their bodies. And, we support you and we love you all.
Yes. Remember, you have the right to private, informed medical decisions. That is not a place the government belongs. Everybody have a fantastic week.
The Art of Costume Blogcast is hosted and produced by Elizabeth Joy Glass and Spencer Williams. Our audio engineering and editing is done by Dan White. Follow us on Instagram at The Art of Costume Pod or visit theartofcostumeblogcast.com for all blogcast updates. If you want to support the show, go to theartofcostume.com/podstore. Or you can head over to patreon.com/theartofcostume for some bonus content. For more costume reviews, deep dives, and interviews, head over to theartofcostume.com, a blog dedicated to highlighting the best in costume design.
It's giving me like Angela Merkel vibes, the former chancellor of Germany. Yeah, was she chancellor?
Oh,
I'll look it up. Make sure.
I forget what their thing is.
Yeah, former chancellor of Germany. Oh wow, I just really know my politics.
You do.
Okay, but we could cut this off. We have to. But who is the guy in the middle? Not Robert Redford.
I don't know. They all look familiar to me. I know, like, the old white guy. He's in a bunch of stuff. The other two also look familiar, but I don't know if it's just because I've seen this movie so many times or if I've actually seen them in other films as well. Because that's the thing with Marvel movies is they get like really good, like prolific actors to play bit roles.
Oh, okay. I know who he is. That's Chin Han, who was just playing. Okay, wait, hold on. Give me a second to get my thoughts together on this, because I'm still like pulling it up. That is Chin Han in the middle. He was Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat, but he was been in like 102 things. He was in Independence Day. He was obviously in Captain America. He was in Arrow. He's in The Dark Knight.
He's in Arrow?
Yeah, he's in Arrow. He's in Arrow. He plays Frank Chen. And then
that's probably where I know him from then.
And The Dark Knight. This is where I really think I know him. He plays Lao in The Dark Knight.
I mean, I probably know him from that and Arrow.
Right. Daniel, you could cut all this if you think it's uninteresting, but I just really had to solve this mystery.